So we know we have 6 colors. We know we have keywords. We know we have archetypes. We don't know how to generate resources. We don't know how to play cards. We don't know about non-character cards. And we don't know what these little gem things are on the side of the card. Let's dive in. In Lorcana we have 6 colors. Yellow, blue, red, green, purple, and gray. I think it's pretty safe to assume you're going to be playing 1 or 2 of these colors in your deck, much like Magic the Gathering. And that gray is going to be a neutral color that anyone can play in any colored deck. You also have keywords on every card, labeling them either a villain or a hero. I'm thinking that means that you can only play either villains or heroes in your deck, creating a more interesting environment for deck building. So we know there will be combat in this game because each character has attack, each character has defense. But how is this combat going to work? Let's talk about that. I'm fairly confident that combat is going to work by you playing your card, exhausting it, which is Disney's form of tapping for Magic, turning it sideways, and selecting a character your opponent controls and making the 2 characters fight each other. If a character has higher attack than the opponent has defense, the defending character will be destroyed, or banished, as Disney calls it, and sent to the discard pile. I don't think this is going to be like Magic the Gathering where it's attack and defense. Like you declare attackers, they choose blockers. I think you're picking the attackers, much like Hearthstone. The reason I think that is because if you read Captain Hook, their keyword is called challenge. And then elusive, another keyword, says this card cannot be challenged unless by another elusive character. So that makes me think the challenger is the attacker, and you're selecting your character that you want to fight. I don't think there is going to be going any face here. I don't even think there's going to be life. I'm going to go over that in a little bit. But before I do that, real quick, if you like the video, you should hit the like button because that one like, that's probably me, man. So please help me out. So I think the way you win the game is these little diamonds on the right of the card. These little diamonds, each card has a certain amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. I think you're trying to put characters on the field until you have enough to meet whatever the win condition requirements say. It's 15. You're playing characters until you have 15 diamonds on the board. First person to have 15 diamonds wins the game. Now there's reasons I think this. So all the cheat characters have low diamond amounts on their cards. Elsa, Captain Hook, Cruella de Vil, they're all low cost to play and they have a low amount of diamonds. But Mickey Mouse is 8 cost to play and he has 4 diamonds and he's elusive. Because normally a 5/5 flyer in Magic would cost about 6. But this guy costs 8 because he has 4 diamonds, aka 4 victory points, and is elusive so he can only be killed by other elusive players. It's harder for your opponent to take those 4 victory points from you, making this card cost 8 to play. But now you're probably wondering, what about Maleficent? It costs 9 to play and you only get 2 diamonds. Yes, but that card also destroys characters your opponent controls. So now not only are you gaining 2 diamonds, you are likely destroying one of their creatures, which will probably have 4 diamonds because you're targeting the one with the most diamonds on their team. So your opponent is losing 4 diamonds and you're gaining 2 diamonds. So a total of 6 diamonds, which makes a card cost 9. So let's talk about resource generation here. How do I think resources are going to be generated? I think this one's pretty boring. I think it's going to be exactly like Magic the Gathering, except it's not going to be a land card. It's just going to be play one of your cards from your hand, and then you tap it, and it gets what color that card is in mana or whatever to play other cards. I think it's going to be that simple. I think you're going to draw 1 card per turn. I think you're only drawing 1 card per turn because of Stitch's ability. Stitch's ability is if you play at 2 costs or less, you can draw a card. So I think drawing 1 card, if you drew 2 cards a turn or drew to 7, drawing 1 card wouldn't be that good. And the card wouldn't warrant costing 6. But because it costs 6, I think drawing 1 card is good. Because you have to play your 6 costs and tap the creature you played. Probably only drawing 1 card per turn, so drawing an extra card is really good, so it costs a lot to do it. I think all your cards are going to be unexhausted at the end of your turn and not the start of your turn like Magic or Hearthstone or any of those games. The reason I think this is because I don't think there's going to be any cards that you can play during your opponent's turn. And because of that, untapping at the end of your turn makes Elsa's ability where she taps herself to tap one character your opponent controls, makes that character actually frozen for that next player's turn because that player will have to take their turn with that creature tapped that you tapped with Elsa, and then it would untap itself at the end of the turn. So I just said I don't think there's going to be any cards you can play during your opponent's turn. I think Ravensburger is trying to simplify Magic the Gathering, and I think the easiest way to simplify a card game like that and make it more accessible to younger players is removing the ability to play cards during your opponent's turn. No one really likes playing their card and getting it countered by a blue deck anyway, so it's not a bad thing. I do think there are going to be spell cards or other cards that aren't character cards. I think these cards are going to be called song cards. In the first Polygon article, they mentioned that this game was going to be about all the characters and all the songs in Disney. So I think that what you would normally call spell cards or sorcery cards in every other card game are going to be called song cards in this card game, and they're going to be used on your turn only and to do things like draw cards, remove creatures, and that kind of stuff. And that's it. I think that's exactly how you play the game, and I'd be pretty surprised if I'm wrong. So in summary, you'll build a colored villain deck or a hero deck. You'll play cards from your hands to generate resources. You'll use those resources to play songs and character cards. You'll use your character and song cards to remove your opponent's characters from the field, removing victory points from them. Your character cards, as you play them, will gain you victory points. And first person to a certain amount of victory points wins the game. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. I'm brand new to YouTube. If you want to hear my thoughts about Lorcana and how big it's going to be and everything else, go ahead and check a link in the description below. Thanks for watching.